what are the companies that you finally got job interviews? Are they the companies that you initially dream of having to work with?
Yes, definitely. And I must tell for sure that the interviews haven't stopped yet here. So I
Right.
still get interviews, and people are
Amazing.
offering me positions from different positions and different companies. And it's pretty much they are trying to negotiate the position for the salary I expect. So it's more of the negotiation for them to do, which is good in a positive sense. It's not to something to brag about, but I'm proud of what I've achieved. So there is no doubt on that. So things have, in that sense, I think pretty much were focused. I remember talking to you initially when I spoke about my career and my interest. I said I wanted to work in FMCG, pharmaceuticals, and food industry, pretty much like on the bigger version of it. So after that, when I went through ICAV coursework, I realized that three is too much to focus initially, and we have to pick a better way of going ahead. And I think organically, it happened to be that when I started talking to people across industries and trying to understand how the projects run in the companies, I saw I was more interested towards food industry for sure. So now I slowly eliminated the other two and I focused more on food pretty much. And then when I applied and tried to have my new ICAV resume and then applied, I started getting interviews from pretty much most of the top 30 FMCG, like pretty much of the food industries. It's not just restricted to Nestle or Nestle Purina, but it was Anheuser-Busch, PepsiCo, and many others. Model as international for sure. So things like that. So these were some of the companies, and it never ended. Like it just went on. I also had some interviews with some startups, interestingly, and things like that. Some again, it's not only, as you also say in the coursework, that it's not pretty much only towards your profile. It has to match with the company's expectations, so it has to be the right match. So I think having that attitude that if getting rejected is not because only you are not capable of, it's more of how the company wants to run further, right? So that's also important, and trying to be in their shoes and thinking through it helps. Like
Right.
to stay
No.
optimistic in a way. As I was very overwhelmed with a lot of things in the US, you helped me to understand it with patience and with structure about how to go. I pretty much had a more of storytelling, but more on a subjective way of expressing it. But you showed me how you can more make it objective and hit at the top 3 points and go from there. So I think that's very important, and I think ICAV really showed me that because I had a very interesting and a comprehensive profile for sure, but I had to brand myself well to start my career in the US because I have big dreams, but I need that bigger framework of how to go about it one step at a time, right? So I think whatever you taught in ICAV will stick with me for sure. Also, networking, which I did pretty much in India because when you're an entrepreneur, you got to network with people and get going. But I think I got more structure around that as well, which was more constructive for sure, because I never was so much in structure about networking. It was more often than not, in the beat of time, I used to connect with people and, things went in a flow. But right now, it's more on a how you keep in connection with them and try to have a meaningful networking, right? Which you talk about, which is great. So it has helped me a lot, and I'm glad to have met so many great mentors. So I never had this official sort of mentor pretty much back in India. So here, when I was introduced to all this, I think ICAV really played a big role. And you showed us it's not nothing to shy around any of the professionals, maybe in any level of a corporate ladder. It's all about, what you bring value to the table at the end of the day. So also understanding how I see myself after some years, right? It's not only for today. As you said, networking is not only for today. We should never stop it that we landed a job or things like that, but it will keep continuing henceforth. So I'm glad to be ICAV platform member, and also I'm there anytime for ICAV. That's just I'm there for.
We are so proud of you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So you mentioned a few formulas here, right?
Yeah.
First is to identify your niche
Yep.
and have that concise pitch about yourself. At the same
Right.
time, be authentic. right? Be
Right?
authentic.
Right.
And most importantly, human give a human job. So you need to
True.
find that career advocate.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
I agree to that. And you speak about a lot of different
Uh-huh.
structures of how, networking. And I got tons of interviews where I could understand how the company really is and talking about the roles and understanding what expectations a particular role, position, things of that sort. So it really helped me through that. Also, you have so much support around how immigration works and things like that. So we have a lot of support on that and ICMA, which is great. Because and also I feel when you're new to any different country, you need people to trust. It's hard to trust people randomly out there. So, and people are out there making. I mean, they leverage the fact that we are so new and vulnerable about all this. So I'm glad ICMA was there to sort of show the right path and how to go about it. It's smartly, right? Putting the hard work in the right manner, which ICMA really did for me because I'm a hard worker, but I had to just execute it smartly, which I think the framework of ICMA helped me pretty much.